Okay, hi, good evening. Good to see you guys, or well, not to see you, but to be here tonight. Tonight what I want to do is I want to just carry on sort of talking a little bit more about modern day Superman, Wim Hof. For those of you that didn't get to see sort of this morning's or this lunchtime's video, where I sort of did some breathing exercises, I went through the Wim Hof method of breathing. I highly recommend that you have a look at his videos and his breathing method, because one of the things that we must all do is work on making sure that our lungs are fighting fit. Because one of the things we know about this virus is that it attacks the lungs. So the more we can do to sort of make sure that our lungs are at their best capability, right, the better for all of us. So highly encourage you to have a look at the Wim Hof method. I'm going to cover it a little bit now, but obviously, you know, I would ask you, encourage you to have a look on YouTube as well. Amazing resource. So please use it. Okay, so let me tell you a little bit about Wim Hof. I mean, he holds 26 official Guinness Book records, right, for feats that were believed to be fatal or impossible. 26 official records. He ran a half marathon above the Arctic Circle in bare feet. He's called the Iceman, and this is one of the reasons. He was immersed in ice for about 1 hour and 52 minutes, so just under 2 hours, and kept a core temperature of 37. There was various tests done on him. He had about 32 vials of blood taken out while he was doing this, and he was actually melting the ice. The scientists had to keep refilling the container with ice because he was his skin wasn't getting cold. He wasn't suffering from hypothermia. He wasn't suffering from sort of long-term cold exposure. He was just able to continue to stay in the ice for just under 2 hours and come out of that perfectly fine. He's climbed Mount Everest and Mount Kilimanjaro just in his summer shorts. I think he wore boots, but he just wore summer shirts and without the aid of any oxygen. He's sort of hung a mile up in the air, just sort of with his fingers. He's run a marathon in the Namib Desert, sort of one of the hottest deserts out there, without any water, with no water at all. So he ran the whole 26 miles and didn't take any water on board. Amazing. I mean, having done sort of 7 marathons, you know, I know how important it is to hydrate. And but obviously, what he is showing us here is what the body is capable of. And one of the things that I absolutely love about him is that he's not an arrogant man. You know, he is quite brusque. Sort of when you see him being interviewed, you know, his language is, should we say, a little bit curt, but he is very humble. And one of the things that he absolutely encourages you to do is to know that you're capable of it as well. You are capable of all these feats that he's done. You're capable of them. Now, obviously, he's got a head start because he started at the age of 17, going into sort of cold water. So he's had about 30 plus years of experience. But right, you can do it as well, and he's proven this many times because he's taken people on 4-day training courses and had them do most incredible things, which we'll discuss in a minute. And you are able to do this as well, and I really want you to get that message from here. He also swam under sort of ice for the whole length of a football pitch with one breath, just one breath. So what he actually claims is that if you use this breathing technique on a regular basis, then one of the things you're going to affect is you're going to affect inflammation. And he's been prodded, he's been, blood tests have been taken from him, biopsies or muscle biopsies have been done, and they all prove that when he's in that state of breathing, which is slightly hypoxic, it's incredible because what happens is his adrenaline levels go up, and when his adrenaline levels go up, what then happens is that he produces something called interleukin 10. And interleukin 10 dampens inflammation. So people who have sort of autoimmune diseases, because inflammation is the biggest problem health-wise that we as human beings face, that any creature, any animal faces, because inflammation on a short sort of term is very beneficial, because inflammation is there to help us to kill whatever it is that's attacking us. But long-term chronic inflammation, especially sort of inflammation, not just in autoimmune diseases, but also in conditions of stress, long-term stress, which is probably one of the things that, most of us are experiencing at the moment. And hopefully you've got some useful ideas from the videos that I've been presenting about how to reduce your levels of stress. And this is one of the methods, using this Wim Hof breathing method technique. So what I want to do is I'm going to share a couple of videos with you. So I'm going to share this video with you first, and hopefully it will come through. But if it doesn't, then I encourage you to look at it. It's called Wim Hof Method and the Nobel Prize in Physiology of Medicine. And this is really interesting stuff.
This year's Nobel Prize in Physiology or Medicine was awarded to 3 researchers, William Kaelin, Peter Radcliffe, and Greg Semenza. These researchers helped reveal the mechanisms by which cells in the body sense and adapt to low oxygen availability, mechanisms that has deepened our understanding and ability to treat diseases such as anemia and cancer. When the body is experiencing low oxygen levels, a protein complex builds up in nearly all the cells in the body. This protein complex is called HIF, or hypoxia-induced factor. HIF has a number of effects on the body, including the formation of new blood vessels, and strikingly seems to upregulate the expression of genes used to produce erythropoietin, EPO, a hormone that stimulates the creation of new oxygen-carrying red blood cells. Why is this so important to the method? Because the Wim Hof breathing method simulates this low oxygen stress throughout the body. Through deep, controlled breathing, blood is alkalized. This alkaline blood affects the release of oxygen in the body and allows a person to hold their breath for a long time, meaning oxygen saturation in the body can lower to unprecedented levels. This was shown in the Radboud study, where Wim managed to lower his blood oxygen saturation to levels that would literally turn off the oximeter measuring him. The participants of the Radboud study also demonstrated this low oxygen saturation. Have a look. Lowering deeper and deeper after each round. This low oxygen stress on the body could stimulate greater expression of the HIF protein, allowing a person to reap the benefits this protein offers at home through natural means. This research can also help explain how Wim Hof could train himself and others to adapt to high altitudes quickly with his breathing technique, climbing Everest or Kilimanjaro, in shorts no less. In this spirit, we would like to thank these researchers. For many years, Wim has been trying to get this message out there, and there seems to be more evidence every day. Humbly, we thank you.
Okay, so there is a lot of science now that's beginning to back up Wim's madness. I mean, he comes across as a bit of a madman, but what he's doing and what he's achieving and what he's helping other people to do is phenomenal. And the science behind it would seem to say that by creating that hypoxic condition, by the 30 deep breaths and holding, right, then what happens is that you increase the erythropoietin, which then increases your red blood cells. So you actually begin to produce more red blood cells, and you actually are able to carry more oxygen into organs and tissue as well. And by using this method, he actually was injected at that study in Amsterdam. They injected him with E. coli, which is quite a potent bacteria, and 16,000 people were injected with it and showed all the usual symptoms of vomiting, nausea, diarrhea, sweating, high temperature, all the processes that are designed to help you kill the bacteria. That's what they're there for. And what do we do in this modern day and age? We try and suppress all those things that are designed to help you help yourself. It seems a bit mad to me, but hey ho. So basically 16,000 people were injected. They all went through it. Wim volunteered himself, was injected with it, and he didn't go through that process. He didn't have the vomiting, he didn't have the diarrhea, he didn't have the high temperature, he didn't have the sweating, and what they found was that his white blood cells were actually higher in number and were more potent. Now, one of the reasons for that is that when you're doing this breathing technique, what you're doing is you're actually sort of producing more adrenaline. And by producing more adrenaline, you're actually encouraging sort of production of a cytokine called interleukin 10. And interleukin 10, what it does is it suppresses inflammation, but it increases your white blood cells. So your white blood cells aren't affected, but your inflammation is reduced. And the white blood cells are your army that go about sort of obviously killing the bacteria. And he did this by himself, right, as a guinea pig. But then what he did was he took sort of 12 people, trained them over 4 days, and they were able to replicate what he had done. So he's not a freak, it's not genetic, because he has an identical twin, his brother, who is identical to him in all sort of genetic material, but is not able to do what Wim does. But now that Wim has trained him, he is. So it is something that you can learn, something you can train yourself to do. And I highly, highly encourage you to have a go. But there are some safety things that you really need to be aware of. So what I'm going to do now is I'm just going to show you a very funny little video that he did, which is the safety information. And I think it's quite funny.
You know you're good at what you do, so how come no one's buying? In this video, I'm going to share with you...
Or lying on a couch or bed. Don't do the breathing exercises in a situation.
All right. So this is basically his safety information. So before you do the exercises, make sure that you watch and adhere to this safety information, please. So here we go. And this is all on his YouTube channel, right? Wim Hof. Also, you can go to his website and you can download a free app as well. And what he's done is there's some other material that he sells on there, some courses and things, which he's reduced the price of because of obviously everything that's happening. But here we go. This is quite humorous, but you need this information.
Welcome to this step-by-step Wim Hof method video course. We like to give you the best outcomes without any damage. It's very important that you watch this instructional video to the end before you start this course. Pay attention to every detail. First rule, listen to your body and never force. The breathing exercises are simple, but they go deep. Always do the breathing exercises in a safe environment, sitting or lying on a couch or bed. Don't do the breathing exercises in a situation where it might be dangerous to faint. So don't do it in the water, in a bath, or driving a vehicle. How to prepare for the breathing. Always start on empty stomach to get the most out of the exercise. Make yourself at ease. Lay down, relax. The body, relaxed, is able to store up the most of oxygen. Set your intention before you start. And start doing your breathing exercises. You can track your retention times, but it is not mandatory. We know it's fun to have some competition, but this is not about it. It is about having a great experience and just feel great afterwards. When you do the cold exposure, it's great to train with the cold. You will hate it when you begin, but sooner or later you will love it. First rule, never force. It's about the effects, not the number of minutes you stay in the cold. You can easily become hypothermic, and that can be very dangerous. Never overdo it, and listen to your body, always. Second rule, stay focused. Be aware of what you are doing. Yes, you can make selfies, but remember, be aware of your own actions. When you do the ice baths or go into nature, make sure you always have a buddy or certified instructor to assist. Bring warm clothes and drinks, and again, never force. In this course you will find different kinds of nice stretch exercises that really help you to get the blood flow going and make the body more flexible. We try to provide exercises for all levels. However, you might simply cannot do them all. It's no problem if you are not able to do them directly. Just do what you can do and never ever force. If you have any special physical conditions, please consult your doctor first. The method is not a competitive game, but meant as a tool to connect more with your body and mind. Don't force it, listen to your body and be playful. Enjoy the course!
I love that music. I think the music is a good choice. Okay, so adhere to those safety instructions. Okay, so when you do the breathing, I mean, a good time to do it is first thing in the morning as you wake up. And there is a video here, which is this one. I'll just show you that.
Hi guys, welcome. This is a guided breathing session.
This is what we did at lunchtime. I used this video here, and unfortunately, the camera died on me at about 10 minutes, about 5-10 minutes before the end. So we didn't get, I went through it, not realizing that obviously the camera wasn't working anymore. But I went through it, and I was able to hold my breath for over 2 minutes in that last session, and I felt great. I can't recommend it enough. Just try it, but please adhere to those safety instructions, okay? It's called the Guided Wim Hof Method Breathing. Again, it's in his channel on YouTube. Do have a look at that, okay? Do have a look at that. And obviously watch the video this afternoon if you wanted to see that as well, okay? Definitely worth doing. Now, he mentioned about sort of the cold water as well. And one of the things that I started doing about sort of 4 months ago, nearly 5 months now, is having cold showers. I can't remember the last time I had a hot shower. I've been having cold showers in the morning. And one of the things he recommended in an interview that I saw of his while doing the research for this was that he normally has one in the evening as well. And he finds that he gets a better sleep because his core temperature is better. So interesting. So I may try that tonight. But what I do is you can start off by having like a hot shower. So have a hot shower, and then you go to cold before you come out. All right, and you can do that, and that is actually where I started. I started doing sort of hot, cold. But then I watched a TED talk, and it was a young guy, and he was saying that he has cold showers because one of the reasons he has them is because if he can have a cold shower, right, and he can do it, and he can get in there and get in there straight away, then he can do anything. And I thought, well, yeah, absolutely. You know, because it's all about pushing your body. It's about sort of pushing your body, giving it that little bit of sort of stress, not pain. Okay, remember what I always say is if you're feeling pain, then there is a reason, and your body is telling you something isn't right. But a little bit of discomfort, right, like cold water on your skin, right, shouldn't be too much of a problem, right? So, yeah, so I thought to myself, okay, well, he's right. You know, if I can do this every morning, then I can face anything. I can face anything. And of course, if I can, so can you. So can you. All right, so have a go. You know, a cold shower in the morning, it feels great. You know, and the great thing about it is, as I mentioned sort of before, is that you've got the vascular system, which is your arteries, your veins, your capillaries, they are long enough to actually circumnavigate the earth about sort of 2 to 3 times, 2.5 to 3 times. So that's a heck of a lot of vascularity sort of in your body. And they, especially the arteries, have got smooth muscle. The veins, not so much, and the capillaries are surrounded by muscle. So if you can stimulate those muscles, then you can stimulate the blood supply from that wonderful, wonderful pump, your heart. So by stimulating it with the cold water, what they found is that you can sort of drop down your heart rate by up to 20 to 30 beats a minute. And that's phenomenal, because that's one of the ways of reducing your stress. So cold showers, bring them on, have a go. Have a go. Okay, now, I don't like sound bites, but I loved this interview that he did. And what I want to do is I want to just play a couple of sound bites for you, because I actually sort of really like what he has to say, and I want to share what he has to say because he says it really well. So let me just find it.
Very few people, I think, have a crystal clear picture.
One of the things of YouTube, adverts, okay, but here we go. So this is a YouTube channel, right, run by an amazing guy called Tom Bilyeu, and it's called Impact Theory, IT Impact Theory, and he interviews some amazing people, and he's interviewing Wim, and let me see if I can find the part, because this is really good what he says here, because he says it so beautifully, and I really want you to hear this. This is from the man's mouth, from the horse's mouth, as they say. Okay, so
Another thing is, they say 20% of our brain is working. Fuck that, man. It is 100%. And we got the innate capacity to enter into any part of our brain. And now we have shown to get into the deepest. And with that, we become the command breathing one. So the breathing is more effective on those heights and in those extremes than a medicine. And this is unknown. And we got 8 more studies coming out. Hey man, we got the power to be the alchemist within our body. That's the way nature meant it to be. Right. Another thing is, they say 20% of our brain is working. Fuck that, man. It is 100%.
100.
And we got the innate capacity to enter into any part.
An innate capacity. Now, as a chiropractor, that's why I went into chiropractic, because this is what chiropractors absolutely believe, is that we have an innate capacity, we're born with it, right, to be able to heal our bodies. And all we need to do is we just need to do the right things. We need to get our nervous system loosened up. We need to get our nervous system fired up. We need to get the right mindset. We need to be thinking along in the right way, because remember, you know, every single thought you have in your head, you have 67,000 of them every single day, 67,000 of them. Now, but you normally don't have any control over them. And 95% of the thoughts that you have in your head are basically things that you can do nothing about. So why not control your thoughts and focus on things that you can do something about? You can do something about what you do in the day. How do you start your morning? Do you have that cold shower? Do you do the breathing exercises? Do you do the exercises? You can control what goes onto your plate at breakfast, lunch, or dinner. Ideally, you don't have 3 meals, you have 2 meals, right? So what goes on your plate? Is it healthy? Is it nutritious? And are you going to take those vitamins and minerals that we know are going to support your immune system? Yeah, are you going to do that? Are you going to get a good night's sleep? So you are in control, and you can control your thoughts. You know, as Tony Robbins goes, you know, sort of where your focus goes is where your results are. Yeah, where you have your focus, that's where you get your results. So I really love that. Okay, so it's not 80%, it's 100%. Right, I won't use his language, but it's 100%. And you are in control. You can do this. You can do this. Right, so I'm going to just play one more little soundbite. Now, I hate to sort of do this out of context, guys, but I mean, he just puts it so well. But I really would encourage you to have a look at this interview, okay? It's definitely worth listening.
7 cents, 8 cents, all controlled the way nature meant it to be. I reset people within a couple of days and then go past the conditioning, and then it is up to them to get out of the trodden neurological pathways and get into the new one. And then they asked me, hey, Wim, what is enlightenment? Because I never asked it, but I have to ask you, because it seems you got some answers. I say, well, okay, Whole Bibles and Qurans are written about that shit. So I tell you in one sentence what it is. Just be happy, strong, and healthy, and the rest is bullshit.
Be happy, strong, and healthy, and the rest is BS. Be strong. So be healthy, strong, and happy, and the rest is BS. Wise words. Wise words. So, I will leave you to explore in more detail. Hopefully, I've interested you a little bit in what he has to say. Hopefully, I've sort of given you a little bit of information that you will now go out and explore. I really would encourage you to do that Wim Hof method. I'm absolutely going to be doing it every day. I mean, I could hold comfortably my breath for over 2 minutes, sort of just when I did it sort of at lunchtime, and I'm definitely going to be doing it sort of in the mornings and in the evenings. Now, there's one other wonderful thing that I want to share with you, all right, and I'm going to leave you with this. For all of you fans of Cirque du Soleil, by the way, if you go to their channel, they have just released a brand new show, Okay, they've just released a brand new show on YouTube, It's but just over an hour long. I mean, I'm a huge fan of Cirque du Soleil, and you know, I just love the athleticism and just the music and just all the acrobats and everything else about the show. And I've been fortunate enough to go through the Albert Hall to see it. But they've now just released this specifically because they know that people obviously can't go out. And so they're giving you something really fun and joyful and exhilarating to watch. So Cirque du Soleil, it's on their channel. They've just released it today. I would encourage you to watch it if you haven't sort of seen them. And if you don't know who Cirque du Soleil is, please go and sort of find them. It's spelled Cirque, S-I-R-Q-U-E, D-U-S-O-L-E-I-L, Circus of Sun. All right, I really would encourage you to have a look. It's just amazing, and I know that you and your family will get great fun out of it. Okay, so I'm going to leave you with with this video. All right, and yeah, I think you'll get the message from this. A very good friend, Kalpesh, shared this with me, and yeah, I found it very powerful. Hopefully you will too. Enjoy.
Are you scared yet? They say this thing, it kills your immune system, attacks your lungs, makes it hard to breathe, and it's spreading. It's spreading like wildfire, causing havoc. Your friends and family are gonna get it, if they don't already have it. It's tragic, I tell you, madness. Scientists say old people get it worse, but most get it eventually. They say this is new, but no. This has been around for centuries. Look at history, it's just a different name, a different strain. And now there's no way to contain it. It affects the rich, poor, young, old, the unknown, the famous. It's dangerous. Everyone's on edge, locked inside of their homes nervously. Borders are closed, countries declare a state of emergencies. Grocery stores are empty, nobody's praying in church. The world has gone to crap. No wonder toilet paper sold out first. The stock market crashed, thousands laid off work. Hand sanitizer is going for $1 million a squirt. You better not sneeze, cause no one's gonna say God bless you. They might even arrest you. I don't mean to stress you, but washing your hands obsessively in the restroom will not protect you. Friends, I'm not talking about coronavirus. No, this is a virus even more deadly. The F virus. You've seen it. It spreads every minute like an epidemic. It lives on surfaces, most commonly remote controls, TV screens, cellular phones. It makes you desperate. Doctors say every time you scroll down your feed, you get reinfected. It invades the brain, and when it mutates, it turns into hatred and blame. China did it. No, Italy did. No, Iran. No, Spain. Oh, I didn't make it clear? The F virus, ladies and gentlemen, is fear. But don't be afraid. Despite what you hear or see on your TV, there is good news during this tragedy. To fight loneliness, people are performing concerts on their balconies. The UAE sent aid to Iran. Japan donated supplies to China for free. Written on them was a poem that said, "We are waves from the same sea." Listen to me, like every tragedy, we can let this destroy us, or we can use it to our benefit and repair relationships with our sisters and brothers, wipe away silly grudges, because when it's all said and done, all we ever really had in this world was each other. So yes, let's flatten the curve and expand our hearts. Let's social distance, boost our immune systems, be mindful of where we put our hands, but also where we put our attention. Be alert, not fearful, because the F virus is a pandemic easily transmitted. If you do contract it or exhibit symptoms, we recommend immediately dialing the hotline of a level-headed friend. If you are exposed through your TV, change the dang station. Decontaminate yourself through dance, laughter, and meditation. 2020 has been morbid. From Kobe to COVID, may we use these tragic moments to finally wake up to what's important. Right now, tell someone that you care for them. Yes, right now, tell them that you cherish them. If they are not in the same room, ring them up and tell them you will always be there for them. Because together is how we will rise above. The only vaccine for this F virus and every other virus is love.
This year's
Okay. Well, I'll leave you with that. The most powerful energy in the world and the most powerful thing that we have right now is right here, and that's love. Let's send out love to all humanity, obviously to our friends and family, and ring someone now, and just tell them you love them. I wish you love, I wish you peace. Have a good night's sleep. I will see you in the morning. Tomorrow morning we're going to be doing immunity exercise. So we're going to, it's again from my good friend Kung Fu Life. They've got 20 sort of immunity boosting exercises. So we're going to have a look at those and have a go at those. So that should be fun. So join me in the morning and have a great sleep. Sweet dreams. God bless. Are you going to try that cold shower before you go to bed? I'm going to give it a go, but I definitely will be having one in the morning as normal. Take care, guys. God bless. Sleep well. Love.